Should you attend the Is God for Real conference in Australia? This commercial, video on YouTube sure wants you to. Why? Do they have any evidence for God? No, they just want your money. I stumbled across this ad for a religious conference in Australia, and even though it's short and completely pointless, I think it shows the advertising aspects of religion, making promises they can't keep in exchange for your hard-earned cash. It's really what church is for every single week. You can sit down, sing some songs, listen to some fluffy nonsense from the pulpit, and throw a bunch of your money into a plate before going home and forgetting all about it. Did you actually gain anything? No. And you won't gain anything by wasting your time and your money at this conference either. So let's go take a look.
Does God exist?
Not so far as we can tell. There is no objectively demonstrable, factually verifiable evidence that God, any God, actually exists in the real world. Now, you might want God to exist. You might get emotional comfort from the idea that God exists. But none of that means that God verifiably exists. And I suspect you'll ignore that, won't you?
Is there anyone out there?
There could be. It's absurdly unlikely that life only evolved on this one small, insignificant planet in the ass end of the cosmos. Of course, we should no more believe in aliens before we can demonstrate their existence than we should believe in gods before we have the evidence that they are real. But aliens are a lot more likely than any magical deities.
Is God for real?
Again, not that we have any demonstrable evidence for. And when it comes right down to it, that's all that really matters. I don't care how much you wish your magical sky daddy was really there. If he's not, he's not. Any more than it doesn't matter how much the Scientologists believe in Thetans. They're either real or they're not. And based on every single shred of evidence that we have, they're not. You don't get special treatment because you think you're special. Get off the short bus.
For years as an atheist, my answer to this question was no, there is no God.
And those claims never impressed me because they tell me that this person was never an informed, educated, intellectual atheist. Granted, that's not required to be an atheist. Anyone who doesn't believe in gods is an atheist by definition, no matter how they came to that conclusion. If you've never even heard of the concept of gods, you're an atheist. If you know absolutely nothing about the claims made about gods, you're an atheist. So just being a former atheist, if indeed that's what he is, says absolutely nothing about his intellect or his education or his knowledge about religion. I know it plays well to the emotional theists. Oh good, we've got a convert. But it doesn't really mean anything. Only evidence and reason and logic do.
But like so many others, I've had to reconsider the evidence.
Like so many others. Sure. Because in Australia, which is where this conference is being held, Christianity is dying like most places in the Western world. Since 1986, it is down from over 70% of Australians who identified as Christians to just over 50% today. And atheism has risen from just over 10% in 1986 to nearly 30%. So, like so many others, yeah, no.
When you think about the vast expanse of our universe, do our individual lives really matter?
No, nor should they. But this is an emotional response to what is an intellectual question. How could the lives of individual humans matter in relation to the entire cosmos? Hell, they don't even matter on this planet. Almost 152,000 people die on this planet every single day. Do any of their lives matter to you unless it was someone that you knew or someone famous? You neither know nor care that these people are dead, nor should you. It just doesn't matter. You just don't matter.
Is there any purpose to life, or are we simply drifting through life wondering where meaning will come from?
Yeah, pretty much. Because meaning comes from us. We make it for ourselves. Some of us do a decent job of it. Some of us do not. Mostly, the religious do not, because they're so busy waiting for someone else to come by and do it for them that they never bother to accomplish anything worthwhile while they're here.
What is the evidence for the existence of God, and what does that mean for you and for those you care about?
That's a good question. Where is the evidence? Because I've been asking that question for decades, and not one theist, not one, has ever had any. Oh, sure, they've got claims, they've got beliefs, they've got rationalizations, they've got faith, but they have no evidence, no objectively demonstrable, independently verifiable evidence that any God, more specifically their God, actually exists in the real world. And let's be honest, if I went to your conference, you wouldn't have any either. No one does, because so far as we can tell, it simply doesn't exist.
Come and join us as we explore this vital question: is God for real?
Yeah, sorry, I'm not going to be there. It's not worth putting money in your pocket for you to confirm the obvious reality that, no, you can't perform any better than any of the other professional apologists on the planet. I wouldn't go even if you were right next door. If you can prove it, cool. Prove it. I'll pay you $10,000 if you can show me proof that your God is real. And that's proof. That's not beliefs. That's not faith. That's proof. But you can't. So why should I bother with you at all? And that's really why I looked at this video. It's just another example of someone asking valid questions and then begging for money so they can provide no credible answers. Because, let's be honest, they have none. It will be, I'm sure, nothing more than a big rah-rah session full of motivational speakers who will whip up the crowd, whatever crowd they can attract with the falling numbers of Christians in Australia at least, and everyone will go home and they'll have no more answers than they arrived with, but they will feel good because they went. It will be, I'm sure, a complete waste of everyone's time. But this is religion we're talking about here. All emotion, no fact, appeals to the lowest common denominator, irrational religion. It's all they can do. It's a scam. And here are just some more scam artists trying to take your money in exchange for a con job. Seriously, anyone surprised?